Hello everybody, this is Gruesome Fox coming at you with a 500 cost rated match here in the Pale Rider VG. We're going to be on a military base for this match here, and it's going to be the level 2 version of the VG. This version of the Pale Rider is a general type mobile suit. It is native to 450 and goes up to 500, and this is probably going to be one of the more interesting and mixed Pale Riders I'm going to be talking about. If you haven't seen, I am kind of doing a little series where I'm talking about the Pale Riders that are in GBO2, playing matches in them, and just kind of making videos about them. And the Pale Rider VG is one of those Pale Riders that has been on my list for a hot minute now, especially since it kind of has a weird personal history with me in a way. So the Pale Rider VG, it's in my tag 1 of mobile suits in the mobile suit hangar. Specifically, it's the level 2 that I am using here. And usually when I put a mobile suit in tag 1, it's usually reserved for like my main suits that I use, the ones I use like very often. And the Pale Rider VG level 2 made that list. I don't remember why it made that list, but if I had to guess, I think it's because this suit uses the Gelgoog J's beam machine gun, which is still one of my favorite weapons in GBO2, so I think that may have been the qualifying factor that got it in to tag 1, but yeah, really, I don't use this suit all too often. I would use it quite a bit back then, but now it's, just kind of sitting there, so yeah. That aside, I'll start off with talking about the weapons and skills here, and then just kind of give my overall thoughts on the suit. So yeah, starting off with the weapons for the Pale Rider VG. For your optional range weapons, you can either use the beam machine gun, which is the same one used by the Gelgoog Jaeger. You can use the giant bazooka, or you can use the MMP-80 machine gun with grenade launcher. For your main melee weapon, you have the Pale Rider beam naginata ×2. So yeah, I think this makes this the only suit that uses 2 beam naginatas at the same time, which is, again, very interesting, but also very cool, at least very cool looking. You also have, for your secondary weapons, you have a pair of head-mounted Vulcans, you have an arm beam gun given to you by those Gelgoog Jaeger arms, and then you have the leg missile pod ×2. And while these leg missile pods, they are the same model as the ones used by the Fleet Custom, on this suit they are stop to fire. And then looking at the skills here, you do get emergency evasion systems. You have a dodge roll, you have high performance balancer, high spec AMBAC level 2, melee combo controller, so you get 2 melee swings with those beam naginatas. You have instant thruster precision system, high performance radar level 2, and then like most Pale Riders, you get the Hades ability boost. And that is everything for the weapons and skills of the Pale Rider VG. Now, I do want to start off with the positives and things I like about this suit, and I think if I had to name like one thing I really like about this suit, I think it's just the overall concept and the weapon kit. Just like having a Pale Rider that uses a lot of Xeon weapons and parts with like those Jaeger arms is very interesting, and I think could make for a very cool mobile suit. And I do like that this suit has the Gelgoog Jaeger beam machine gun. That's always gonna get a point for me no matter which suit it is, but the arm beam guns I really like. I think the arm beam guns on this suit are better than the ones on the Pale Rider ground type and space type. That's something I said in my space type video. I really did not like the beam gun on that suit. The one on here, these like Jaeger beam guns, I think are a lot better in comparison. And then the leg missile pods, I think, could be interesting. That's something I'll get a bit more into here in a second, but unfortunately, that's really most of what I can say when it comes to like the things I like about this suit and just overall positives, is that I think the kit is interesting, but that really mostly applies in concept, because in practice, I do think the Pale Rider VG falls short in a lot of areas. The main thing I want to talk about, at least starting off here, is going to be those beam naginatas. As you can see, the downswing for these weapons is very interesting, and for being very interesting, it also makes them very hard to hit. And this might just be more of a me thing with the melee pattern, but I do feel like with the melee pattern being as hard to hit as it is for a downswing, I feel like the downswing is very hard to hit, and like you really don't get like a good amount of damage for the downswing. Even if you land the full thing on somebody, I feel like it really doesn't do as much damage compared to other suits at the cost. I really would like to see either the beam naginatas get improved damage or the Pale Rider itself get an increased melee mod, because as it stands, the Pale Rider VG really doesn't have any like particular strengths in terms of range or melee. Its stats in those areas are pretty much the same if you don't like use custom parts. So for this match here, I did try to go for more of a range build because we were on military base, and again, just with the melee pattern being so hard to hit, it really didn't feel worth it to like buff the melee all too much. So I think, again, if they wanted to increase the damage of the Naginata or increase its suit's overall melee boost, I think that would be really good because it would make actually trying to get the downswing off more worth it to players. Another thing I think too, at least I'm kind of starting off with these specific buffs, I think the suit just needs kind of an overhaul in general, like overall like buff in general. It just needs an overhaul completely. I feel like a lot of the suit just needs some sort of adjustment to make it a more viable pick, because as it stands, I don't think the suit is really viable at all. Like, so yeah. Aside from the beam, Naginata, getting some improved damage, another thing I would really like to see for this suit is it possibly gets Pursuit Range Ox program, the skill where you do more damage to enemies that are knocked over. I think that would actually lead to a very interesting combo with this suit, where if you, and this is what I'm kind of going back to where I mentioned the missile bots, I think if you had it to where this thing had Pursuit Range Ox program, you could have it to where you do a downswing on somebody, you knock them over, you boost back, and then you use the missiles. I think if you buff the damage on the missiles and give it Pursuit Range Ox program, I think pairing that with the Naginata and having that like longer reach downswing, I think could make a very interesting combo for this suit. So if I had to name anything I would like to see on the VG, I think again like that improved Naginata damage and the Pursuit Range Ox skill, I think those would be very interesting, and I think it would give a nice combo for the VG to really feel like it can do something and actually like have some type of usage, because as I said, as it stands now, I really just feel like the VG does not have any like real viability for anything, which is really a complete opposite about what I said about the Gelgoog VG, the high mobility type. Yeah, I think the Gelgoog is just, if we're looking at like Vincent Gleissner suits, yeah, I think his Gelgoog is better than his Pale Rider. But real quick here, we'll take a look at the stats here and see how we did. And 4th place overall with 2 kills and 2 loss. 2nd assist and 3rd in damage. So not too bad of a match there in the VG. But yeah, as I said, I think the Vincent Gleissner's Gelgoog is much better than his Pale Rider. I think this Pale Rider in general just needs an overall adjustment for it. As I said, improve the Naginatas, maybe give it Pursuit Range Ox, and I think that could make for an interesting Pale Rider there. Just that on top of like the overall buffs that I think the suit needs to have. Again, I just think the suit needs an overall adjustment across the board to make it more viable, because as it stands now, yeah, again, I just unfortunately do not see the Pale Rider VG being viable in the slightest. But yeah, that's all I really have for this video here. Not really what I was hoping to say for the VG, because again, I've had this suit in my inventory for a while now, and again, from being in Tag 1, it must have been one I liked using at some point, but quickly died out of using. So yeah, I would really like to see this suit get an adjustment in the future, but yeah, I'm going to stop here before I start rambling past the video. Comment down below what you think about the Pale Rider VG. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.